Hey, that was beautiful.
Welcome to Learn and Turn, Cage Conversations Part 1, baby.
Let's go. All right, Q.
What's up?
First episode, Cage Conversations. How you feeling? How was the day for you?
It was great. Had a good day at school. Got some good practice work in. Went home, lifted a little bit. Came here. Got some good hitting work. Felt good today. What about you?
Absolutely, man. Same thing. Almost died under a barbell today. Kind of slipped and I kind of hurt my back, but we're chilling. Hit good. Got some good clips. Now we're just here getting Cage Conversation going.
Also, before I forget, shout out to the Barneys for letting us use the cage. It's real nice. It's dope.
Thank you.
Deacon's been coming here a while. I just started this year. It's really nice. It's dope. Come check it out.
Absolutely the hookup. Don't know where we'd be without it. It's kind of just where we got started on Cage Conversations because me and Quentin we always come hit here after school and we'll just be talking about just the most random stuff. They're always like insightful conversations, so we kind of just wanted to kick it off. Hopefully just carrying those conversations, honestly. So yeah, we're here.
I'll start it off.
Okay.
So, what was your focus for today in the cage? How'd you feel? How did you go about executing that focus?
Okay, so you kind of saw it. I was just like, my legs felt like my knees were like concaving, kind of like coming in. And I was just losing a lot of like my coil and stuff like that. So I just threw a band around my legs. Just worked on keeping them out, staying in my back hip, and it was like feeling pretty good. I think you were doing something kind of similar to that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was trying to focus on getting in my back leg. I know, I recorded some swings from the past couple of days, and I was noticing I wasn't getting in my back hip. That was my focus for today. Low line drives. Felt good. Felt pretty juicy today too.
Yeah.
Ball was flying for me.
It was fine.
Oh yeah. No, it felt really good.
Cold weather too.
Yeah.
Practice got canceled. We still went out there, got some work. Coach Hudson got us some new machines, so that's gonna be good. Take those into every day.
It's gonna help so much.
No, it really is.
Hopefully, we can use it outside of practice some too. But as far as as a team, it's gonna make us really consistent as well.
Bro, I just want to bring up Chris McIlvain, Ethan's brother, came and talked to us. That conversation with him just absolutely got me fired up. What are some things you took out of that? And what are you looking forward to? Just the changes that he advised us to make.
So what I took out of that was the biggest thing was he was preaching all these things that coaches preach to us each and every day that a lot of times we brush off, but this guy just got drafted last summer, so he was preaching energy, working hard, all kind of stuff like that, and really the energy stood out to me as far as because we didn't have very good energy last year in the dugout. Whenever we got down, we couldn't really come back or anything. A lot of that was, hitting, but at the same time, a lot of it was mentally.
Yeah.
We just didn't have that dog in us last year, and hopefully we have some of that this year.
Was your summer ball team pretty energetic or no? I've seen a couple of videos.
I mean, whenever we were up, we were. Whenever we were down, not really. So I've never really been on a super energetic team. I know in 9U I played with M3, and we were energetic, but that was mainly because our coach was energetic.
And you were 9 years old too.
And we were 9 years old, yeah. So other than that, I really haven't played on a team that's super full of energy.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I've been on a team that's press.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been on energy-filled teams?
Not really. My summer ball team, we had Cooper Anderson. He plays at Ravenwood. He was always bringing the energy. He gets fired up on the mound. But other than that, we had a lot of fun, I think, but we didn't have a lot of energy, and it cost us. But I'm hoping that we can just change that because we've been so we pressed so much, I feel in the past couple of years. And I was thinking about it, I was telling you, every time a coach comes around me, I get coach anxiety.
Yeah.
Bro, what do you think that is? Because that's actually stressing me out, bro.
I feel that because I definitely had that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I told you this today too. I definitely had that a couple of years ago. I was feeling I was going up to the plate being hey, I got to do something that's going to not impress the coach, but make him content, make him happy.
Yeah.
And at the same time, that was not aligning with my goals.
Yeah.
So it just made my this was a couple falls ago. It just didn't make my season like very good. Like I fell into a slump. And now that I look back on it, I see exactly where I went wrong. That's exactly why. It wasn't anything mechanically. It was strictly because I was trying to do too much.
I'm just pressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my last season was like pretty insignificant for me. Didn't do that well, but every time I'm like all the mistakes I would make last season, like I'm trying to just get them out of my mind, just like be forgetful. But I feel like they just always come back like in those moments where I just need to like settle down, stay chill, just breathe.
Yeah, like the thing on PBR said that one of our strengths is as a team is experience.
Yeah.
I think that's something that you can't like take for granted. We've had multiple guys playing 2-3 years, returning starters, and it's going to be really good for us. We better go far.
PBR, I got beef with you now because apparently I'm a left-handed pitcher who also plays second base, so that's kind of weird, but I'll let it slide this time. PBR wrote an article on Nolensville High School, talked a lot about Ethan, talked about a lot about Quinn, Eric, bunch of dudes. So that'll be good. Hopefully that what they said will actually pan out. I think it will. I feel like we've been bringing the energy and giving it in all the right places, so just continue to do that.
How do you feel about like how we'll shake up in districts?
How we'll shake up in districts,
Yeah.
man. Well, Summit kind of whooped us last year, so they're definitely going to be tough to beat. Indy's got some really good talent. I mean, everyone's got good talent. That's just how our district is. That's how our region is. But I'm excited to see because, like, there's so many dudes, I feel like, who like had quiet years because they had, like my friend Cooper I was just talking about, like, he had probably a quieter year off the mound than he would have this year with Miles playing last year and Blake playing this year. So just so many dudes. AJ from Franklin, like all those dudes who are going to play Power 5 or just big time D1 baseball, all those dudes who left, it's going to give so many new guys opportunities. And even like for myself, like last year I played like a lot of outfield because we had Tyler Hummel, who's an absolute dog. He's playing at Colorado School of the Mines. He played infield, so I kind of got moved to outfield. So I'm like super, super excited to get back into the infield. And I just think it's like, I mean, class 2023, around the district, it's been rumbling that, like, this is the most talented class probably in the district. So I'm just super excited to see how it goes because I feel like, at least for me, I feel like connected to everybody else who's in this class, all the dudes from Ravenwood, all the dudes from Indy, all the dudes from Summit. I just feel like we're all on, like, the same page. At least, like, I feel like for us, because we've watched it from outside of the district, like, 2 years ago, but I feel like we're all in the same spot right now, and it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, this district always has dogs. Summit's always well coached. Indy's always got a lot of talent. They got a lot of pitching this year. Even outside of our district, our region is pretty good too. So
yeah,
we're getting a lot of good competition. I feel like we're gonna do pretty well though. I feel like we're pretty well prepared as well. Got a great pitching staff. We didn't lose many people at all for the pitching staff. And like PBR said, we have that experience returning too. So that's some things that we have going for us.
And I just want to know, like, if anyone else knows, because we don't see inside enemy lines, you know.
No,
Like, I don't know anything about Summit this year. I don't know anything about Indy besides a couple dudes. Like, do you think they know that we have like
know about us?
like
oh,
depth like that?
Oh, I definitely know they know about us.
Good stuff.
They definitely see us coming.
Okay.
Because last year we were in that race.
Yeah.
Last game.
To the
we
neck,
were
dude.
top 4 teams were within one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know we're coming. And we
Long
didn't lose that
game.
many people. They know we're coming. I know, like, it's just because my teammates play on some of these teams. Like, I know a little bit of what Summit has. I don't know very much. Indy. I'm forgetting who else is in our Ravenwood. I know a little bit who they have. Columbia. I have no idea.
They're so far.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, they definitely know who we are.
Yeah.
If not, we're gonna show them. Definitely.
Hopefully they're watching the podcast.
Oh, if they are, that's good.
Yeah. Bring the views. Speaking of podcasts, we were supposed to go on. Actually, should I tell them or no? Get the publicity. It might not happen. Yeah, so pretty much didn't drop for a little bit. So we're we're here during the Cage conversation. That's why it's been a little bit delayed. So sorry about that. But one thing you texted me the other day, we were like texting back and forth, like talking about topics that'd be great for this. We were talking about the Cowboys kicker, how he missed so many kicks.
Forgot about that.
Like, you want to bring that up and talk about it because you're the one who brought it up to me. I'm like, dude, it's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm sure a bunch of our viewers know, too, sports fans.
Yeah.
Brett Maher missed, I think it was 5 extra points in a row. And this was, extra points, chip shot, extra points. Brett Maher's been one of the best kickers in the league all year. I had him on my fantasy team. He did. No, he did well for me, though.
You're good now.
But we were just talking about, how it was completely mental. None of it was physical. I'm sure everybody recognizes that too. It was all mental. And what really stood out to me was that I was watching the Cowboys-Bucks game, and after about the third missed extra point, the announcer was like, yeah, the Cowboys may be looking for another field goal kicker next week. And I was like, this guy has been an all-star kicker for the whole year, and then he has one bad game mentally. We don't even know what was wrong with him.
Yeah, exactly.
But
could have been some conflicting thing in his life.
Yeah, he had one bad game, and then announcers talking about they need a new kicker. So I'm like, that's just how quickly it'll flip on you. So it was just really interesting to me. I mean, I hope everybody recognizes that was strictly mental and it wasn't anything physical.
The thing that frustrates me is I just hate people that aren't good teammates, I guess you could say. Dak Prescott was fired up and just yelling. I'm like, dude, you got to hold each other accountable, but that's definitely not how you do it. And then I texted Quentin and said, we were just texting back and forth. And I said that one that got blocked, that's a perfect example of just controlling things that you can control. Because I don't know if it was good to go in. I can't really remember. But in situations like that, when something's out of your control and it's affecting you, you strike out to a really good pitch, or just have a good at bat. You can't take that as a negative. You got to take everything as a positive. He kicked it good, it just got blocked. You got to block that out and stay confident.
Yeah, some things are uncontrollable. And me, I got into that a lot as well. Last year, lining out to people, I would still come back in the day, got mad. I didn't throw my helmet. Yeah. But still, I wasn't satisfied with the result. I mean, even though it's not a hit, I should still be satisfied with the contact I put on the ball. Because it's not about the result, it's about the process. That's what I'm focusing on this year. I need to be less results driven, because last year I was straight results driven, obsessed with stats. And I know a lot of young players get like this as well, but this year I'm focusing more on the process and less on the results.
I'm going to try and find a quote on that because I was reading something really good on this exact same thing. All right, so I found the quote I was looking for. Basically, I'm reading this book right now. It's called Resilience. It's about 2 Navy SEALs. One of them had just gotten back from the war, and he's really struggling with alcoholism and stuff and PTSD. And the other one is really into philosophy, and they're writing letters back and forth, and it's transformed letters into the book. And a lot of it just talks about you have to find happiness in the moment. As the one who's struggling is getting back on track, he has to see all the good in the moment so he can be ready for the future. And I was also watching episode 1 of Star Wars the other day, and Qui-Gon says, "Be mindful of the future, but not at the expense of the moment." That's such a good quote. And if you just Star Wars has really good knowledge if you just really listen to it, because they're pretty much prophets in the movie, so they have to make them sound wise. But
no, yeah, that's definitely true. How is Resilience?
It's really good. It's kind of tough to read because, like I said, he's into philosophy, and not just I don't really know what philosophy is. If you were to ask me before I started reading the book, I would have kind of been just things to help you in life and stuff, I guess. But he takes it deeper, and it's just it's not words to live by. It's just a way of living, I guess. I know it's the same thing, but he talks a lot about ancient Greece and just ancient philosophy, and it's called Resilience. So we talked about it in English the other day. I can't remember what the guy's name was. I want to say Socrates or something like that, but he saved the world from fire or something. I'm gonna get the story wrong, but then Zeus got mad that he saved him from fire, so chained him to a rock, and every day a bird would come eat out his liver. And basically through that, he was in the worst of circumstances, but he didn't let that affect him. Like, he stayed resilient, and like even though he's going through like that such hard times, he was still keeping a good mindset and like still fighting, just like hoping for the day to get out. But he never took for granted the moment that he was in, and so it's kind of just like stuff like that. It's all really good stuff though.
Yeah, I might need to check that one out for real. Like especially me, like this doesn't really have anything to do with sports, but like just as a senior year as a whole, like I feel like it's gone by so fast, and it's a lot of times it's hard to like not take this time for granted.
Yeah, and exactly, like the thing about resilience and just like becoming more mentally strong is like one thing I've realized through just reading and all this is like everything you do stacks up. Like every like Atomic Habits. Like if you wake up in the morning and you're like, man, I really wish I could go back to bed. Like that's a soft move if you go back to bed. But if you like try and push through that, like anytime something's like just like minor, like a minor thing that is difficult, just like push through it because like those things really do stack up. And one thing I've realized, I've like noticed my mind change as I like put focus on that. Have you realized that like after reading Atomic Habits, have you like felt that a little bit?
Yeah. Like I don't want to sound like this kind of sound like a cliche, but like it actually like it's world changing because Atomic Habits like makes you almost like look at the world in like a bunch of different sections and like you're like, okay, this is what I do in the morning and this is why, because it talks about a lot of like the best thing I took from that was like setting up your environment because a lot of times setting up my environment helps me or hurts me as well, is like as far as just technology, healthier eating, like a healthier lifestyle, like a lot of that is based on like setting up your environment. And Atomic Habits was one of my favorite books like ever. It was so good.
So good. And it talks not only about like building new habits but like breaking new habits, and I want to share something from that book as well. But it just talks about like marginal errors, like 1% errors or 1% I guess changes. It says the impact created by a change in your habits is similar to the effect of shifting the route of an airplane by just a few degrees. Imagine you are flying from Los Angeles to New York City. If a pilot leaving from LAX adjusts that heading just 3.5 degrees south, you will land in Washington, D.C. instead of New York. Such a small change is barely noticeable at takeoff. The nose of the airplane moves just a few feet, but when magnified across the entire United States, you end up hundreds of miles apart. Like, that's ridiculous, dude. Like, just that tiny amount of directional change, it just adds up over time. I never realized till reading that book and just living by the philosophy, you know, just how much that's so true.
That's why the philosophy get 1% better every day is like so valuable because, I mean, you may not think, like I saw this quote too. I know you've seen it before too. It's like, don't overestimate what you can get done in a year, and like underestimate what you can get done in 5 years or something like that. But like basically what it was saying was like, don't try to rush and do everything. Just take that 1% gain. Like just get a little bit better each day. And if you look 3, 4, 5 years ahead, you're gonna be twice as good. You're gonna be so much better than you were before.
I mean, that's what Chris shared with us. He showed us a video about Kobe, how he was terrible at basketball, never scored a point for a whole summer, and then he just over the next 2 summers, he said for like 6 months or something, he only worked on shooting. He was getting 1% better every day, and then he was like unstoppable in 2 years. That's just so crazy how much you can improve in that period of time.
Yeah, whenever we were watching that, I was like, I wish I could try it. Like maybe I could, but like splitting my game up like he did. You know how he said the first summer, he said he worked all on shooting, and then the second summer he worked all on dribbling, and then the third summer he worked on like facilitating his shot, and then 3 summers later he was the best ball handler at the gym. I kind of want to do something with like baseball for that, but at the same time you can't go a month without hitting, or a month without fielding, or a month without throwing and stuff. So like I just thought that was really interesting how he broke it up like that, and that just shows also that 1% better as well. You don't have to get. I'd rather get 1% better at a specific task or a specific part of the game than get like a fraction of a percent better in all of the game. And everything. So that was just really
Absolutely.
interesting for me on that video.
That's like just stacking habits and stacking skills, because I guarantee when he moved on from shooting to ball handling, he didn't forget about shooting,
Right.
because then it's just going to decrease. But what have you been reading lately? I haven't really talked to you about it in a minute.
Yeah, so I just started like a couple days ago. David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me, and that one is like super good. It's a little graphic. Like I didn't realize it was like Dylan told me yesterday that there's a clean version. I don't have the clean version. It's a little graphic, but like it's so good. It explains like his mentality, and it's just so different. Like he explains Hell Week in like Navy SEAL training, in the Budge training, and it's completely different from like any kind of training we do like normally. No, it's just what stood out to me in that was just his mentality, and he wasn't born with it. He had to grow up and he had to form that. And it just took him one summer. He was like, I need to lose 100 pounds in 6 months. So he just went to the gym every day. He probably was working for about 12 to 18 hours a day and slept the rest. Like he was like so invested in the process that it was so good.
Yeah, he's incredible, man. I need to get into his books a little more, but even just the title is so powerful. It just Can't Hurt Me. Like, just be so sure of yourself and so confident in your mentality, and develop like a mantra, a mentality that you can just live by, and like nothing can change it. Nothing can move you that marginal amount that, you know, changes your trajectory that much, because you just have that self-confidence. That's one thing that's something you can never stop improving, because it carries on to freaking everything in life, and confidence is just so key.
Yeah, I've been trying to like implement a little bit of confidence too, just as, like with my teammates and stuff. But like at the same time, I'm trying to like enforce it, and I'm not trying to just be all talk. Like I feel like the mental part of the game is so underestimated, because that's 90% of the battle. I know Yogi Berra said that. It's like the mental side of the game is 90%.
So true.
Physical is 10%. Like you fail so many times in this game, so you're gonna have to be able to master that mentally. Also, shout out to Chuck. Trading, that's heavily mental as well. Like you got to master the mental side more than the technical analysis side. So I'm realizing more and more this year, like life is more mental than physical.
Yeah.
That was just interesting to me.
You were telling me about your problems like in your swing right now. You said you had a hole in your swing, but you still hit great. I was just like, dang, like the body's just so connected. Like everything's connected, and like the same thing goes for the mind, like you're saying. But you have to, if you have like no power over your mind, you're not gonna be successful, because obviously that controls everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Should we wrap it up? You got anything else?
Nah, I'm good, man.
Sure.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
sure.
Cage Conversations, episode 1. Thank you guys. I think I might have something else to say. If I'm forgetting it, who knows? Queen, I wanted, if any of you guys have like questions or something that we could answer. We were talking about doing like a live video on Instagram or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool if we did that. What you think?
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say something else.
Oh no.
No, yeah, the live video would be nice. Just get on there and talk about some things. Maybe if anybody has questions or anything, if anybody wants to come on the pod, we'd love to have you.
Seriously, share some insight.
Yeah, for sure. That's all I got.
All right. Keep on the lookout. We should be getting a few more guests in. We got a couple lined up, and maybe some other stuff too. So, thank you guys, and we'll see you later.
Yeah.